Old Fart Travel Channel. Ireland. Please join the Old Farts for our 25 favorite activities during our trip to Ireland. Our first 10 activities are in Dublin, a lively capital where centuries of history meet world-famous pub culture and a warm Irish spirit. First on our list is Kilmainham Jail, a powerful reminder of Ireland's path to independence. This former prison held leaders of the 1916 Easter Rising, including Eamon de Valera, an American-born leader who escaped execution and later became President of Ireland. Many others were not so fortunate. One story that stays with you is of a leader who married his fiancée here in the prison just hours before he was executed. Walking through the cold stone halls and standing in the execution yard, you can feel the weight of those moments. It's not just history. You feel the human cost behind it. If you plan to visit, book ahead. Tours are guided and often sell out. Second is a visit to Trinity College, Dublin, to see the Book of Kells and its stunning old library. This beautifully illustrated manuscript, created over 1,200 years ago, is a masterpiece of early Christian art, filled with intricate detail and vibrant color. But the real visual highlight comes next, the long room library. Lined with thousands of ancient books and towering wooden arches, it feels like stepping into another century. It's one of the most breathtaking spaces in all of Ireland and a must-see while in Dublin. While visiting Trinity, look for the Molly Malone statue, honoring the city's legendary fishmonger, and don't be surprised to see people rubbing it for good luck. Number 3 is Christ Church Cathedral, one of the city's oldest landmarks. Originally founded by the Vikings nearly 1,000 years ago, this cathedral has stood at the heart of the city through centuries of change. Inside, you'll find soaring arches, beautiful stained glass, and a peaceful atmosphere that feels far removed from the busy streets outside. And below, don't miss the crypt, one of the largest in Ireland, filled with fascinating artifacts and stories from Dublin's past. Number 4 is St. Patrick's Cathedral, Ireland's largest cathedral, deeply rooted in history. Built in the 1200s, it's said to stand near the site where St. Patrick himself baptized converts to Christianity. Inside, you'll find stunning stained glass, colorful tiled floors, and the final resting place of writer Jonathan Swift. Number 5 is the Brazen Head, Ireland's oldest pub, dating back to 1198. It's the perfect place to grab a pint, enjoy some Irish stew or fish and chips, and soak in a little Irish history, one story at a time. This historic spot has welcomed everyone, from writers and revolutionaries to travelers like us, for over 800 years. Number 6 is at Dublin Castle, once the center of British rule. Today, it's a symbol of Ireland's independence and a working government complex. As you walk through the state apartments in the castle grounds, you'll see a mix of medieval foundations and elegant Georgian design. Number 7 is a visit to the Jameson Distillery, with a little tasting involved. The distillery was founded in 1780 by John Jameson and is one of Ireland's most famous whiskies, born in the heart of Dublin and enjoyed worldwide today. You'll learn how it's made, what makes it unique, and of course, enjoy a taste at the end. Number 8 is the Guinness Storehouse, 7 floors, leading up to one perfect pint. The tour walks you through the brewing process, the history of the brand, and the art of pouring the perfect pint. But the highlight comes at the top, the Gravity Bar, where you can enjoy a pint of Guinness while taking in panoramic views of Dublin. Number 9 is the National Leprechaun Museum, fun, with Irish folklore brought to life by your guide. This isn't a traditional museum. It's a storytelling experience that brings Ireland's legends to life. Through interactive rooms and guided tales, you'll step into a world where myth and imagination take over. Number 10 is a visit to Temple Bar, Dublin's most famous cultural quarter, known for its lively pubs, street performers, and non-stop traditional Irish music. Temple Bar isn't just one pub. It's Dublin's most famous cultural district, known for live music, cobblestone streets, and non-stop energy. The area dates back to medieval times, over 800 years ago, while the iconic The Temple Bar pub itself has been serving since the 1800s. Ireland is famous for its castles, and along the way we'll highlight 5 of them, not to mention staying in one ourselves. But one of these castles lets you do more than tour it. You can crash there for the night. Number 11 is Cabra Castle, a real castle you can stay in just north of Dublin. Cabra Castle dates back to the early 1800s. Today, it's been beautifully restored into a luxury hotel, but still feels like stepping into a different century. Like many old Irish castles, Cabra comes with a few ghost stories. Footsteps in the halls, doors moving on their own. Nothing too alarming, but let's just say you might not be the only one spending the night. Next, Cork offers a charming mix of historic sites, vibrant food culture, and easy access to some of Ireland's most scenic countryside. Number 12 is another castle, the Rock of Cashel.
All right, everybody, here we are in the Rock of Cashel. We're kind of between Dublin and driving to Cork.
Dating back over 1,000 years, it was once the seat of the kings of Munster, and the site where St. Patrick is said to have converted the king to Christianity. Number 13 is St. Finn Barr's Cathedral, an impressive example of Gothic architecture. Dating back over 1,000 years, it was once the seat of the kings of Munster, and centuries later, the site where St. Patrick is said to have converted the king to Christianity. Number 14 is the English Market, one of Ireland's oldest and most famous covered food markets, and a must-stop for anyone who enjoys local cuisine. Number 15 is the Ring of Kerry, one of Ireland's most famous scenic drives, a 111-mile loop through some of the best scenery in the country. From Cork, we headed to Killarney, then continued to Killorglin, home of the annual Puck Fair, before visiting Kerry Bog Village, stopping for lunch in Waterville, and finishing with a short hike to Tork Waterfall before heading back to Cork. Killarney is a lively town with shopping, colorful streets, and warm Irish charm, the perfect gateway to Killarney National Park. Killorglin is a charming town on the route, famous for Puck Fair, where a wild goat is crowned king each year. And really, what old fart doesn't love a good goat festival? At Kerry Bog Village, you step back into 19th century Ireland, exploring thatched cottages, learning about peat cutting, and meeting the native Irish wolfhounds. And why not have a pint where everybody knows your name, but be sure to follow the instructions. In Waterville, a peaceful seaside village, we stopped for lunch with ocean views, just like Charlie Chaplin, who spent many summers here. We wrapped up with a short hike to Tork Waterfall, one of the most scenic spots in the park. Number 16 is Blarney Castle, home of the famous Blarney Stone.
We're here at the Blarney Castle. When I get out of this imprisonment, we're going to go up and kiss the Blarney Stone. All right, everybody, behind me is the Blarney Stone.
Legend says kissing the stone gives you the gift of gab. Built in 1446, this medieval tower draws visitors from around the world. There is much more than just kissing a stone. Make sure to allow enough time to visit the gardens and walk the numerous paths. Next up is Limerick, combining medieval history with a relaxed riverside atmosphere, perfect for both sightseeing and unwinding. Number 17 is the Three Bridges Walk in Limerick, a relaxing stroll with great views. As the name suggests, you'll cross three bridges. Along the route, don't miss King John's Castle and St. Mary's Cathedral, coming up next on our list. The walk follows the River Shannon and is just over 2 miles long, with great views along the way. Number 18 is St. Mary's Cathedral, dating back to the 1100s. It's the oldest building in the city, still in use today, with beautiful stained glass and a peaceful medieval interior. Number 19 is King John's Castle, a medieval fortress overlooking the river. Built in the 1200s, it's one of the best preserved Norman castles in Ireland. Climb the walls for great views of Limerick and a glimpse into the Middle Ages. Mind your head. People were shorter back then.
Watch your head here. It's really low. Ouch!
Galway is Ireland's cultural heart, known for lively streets, traditional music, and gateway access to the stunning Wild Atlantic Way. Number 20 is a visit to Galway's Latin Quarter and Shop Street. Enjoy the street performers by day and music in the pubs at night. We visited the King's Head, a historic pub named after the beheading of King Charles I. Colorful streets, unique shops, and plenty of pubs make this one of the liveliest spots in Galway. Number 21 is a stop at McDonough's for fish and chips, and make sure to try the chowder, a Galway institution. Number 22 is a drive along the Wild Atlantic Way. The Wild Atlantic Way runs about 1,600 miles along Ireland's west coast, and today we're tackling just a small section from Galway. Our drive included stops at Dunguair Castle, the Cliffs of Moher, the seaside village of Dublin for lunch at O'Donoghue's Pub, and Ailwee Cave. Dunguair Castle is a 16th century castle on the shores of Galway Bay, once home to poets and storytellers. The Cliffs of Moher rise over 700 feet above the Atlantic and stretch for about 8 miles, offering some of Ireland's most dramatic views. Not to mention, one of the windiest places we have ever visited.
All right, here we are at the Cliffs of Moher. A little bit windy, it always is. This is actually pretty good weather for what you normally get here. Anyway, out that way, that's the Atlantic. Keep going, that would be Limerick. Windy?
Yes.
A scenic walk along the cliff path leads to O'Brien's Tower, but be prepared. It can get extremely windy up here, so dress warm and hold on to your hat. In the village of Dublin, we stopped at O'Donoghue's Pub for pub food and a bit of traditional Irish crack, and for an old fart full disclosure, that's spelled C-R-A-I-C. It sounds like drugs, but it just means fun, good music, and good company. Ailwee Cave takes you underground into winding caverns, waterfalls, and ancient limestone passages formed over millions of years. At about 45 minutes, it's a quick and worthwhile stop on the way back to Galway. Then it's off to Northern Ireland with a few days in Belfast. Number 23 on our list was the famous Black Taxi Tour in Belfast. Local drivers take you through the city's divided neighborhoods, sharing personal stories about the Troubles, bringing history to life in a way no museum can. We saw the Peace Walls, political murals, and learned firsthand how this city has transformed over time. We noticed striking contrasts between Shankill Road and Falls Road, Union Jacks and royal tributes on the Protestant side versus Irish flags and Republican imagery on the Catholic. Even global themes like pro-Israel on the Protestant side and pro-Palestinian murals on the Catholic side and the gates still close around 8:30 p.m. each night, a reminder that the city remains physically divided. Number 24 is the Titanic Museum, built right where the ship was constructed. Inside, immersive exhibits take you through the shipyard, the launch, and the fateful voyage, with full-scale reconstructions, interactive displays, and stories that bring the Titanic's history to life. Standing 126 feet tall, the same height as the Titanic, the museum sits on the original shipyard slipways, and through immersive exhibits, including a ride through the ship's construction, tells the story of over 2,200 passengers, more than 1,500 of whom were lost. Last is number 25, the Giant's Causeway Tour, a full-day trip from Belfast. The tour includes visits to Carrickfergus Castle, the Giant's Causeway, Old Bushmills Distillery, and the Dark Hedges. Our first stop is Carrickfergus Castle, built in 1177 and one of the best preserved castles in Ireland. It has guarded Belfast Harbour for over 800 years and played a key role in many historic sieges. Next is the main event, the Giant's Causeway, one of the most unique natural wonders in the world. According to legend, the giant Finn McCool built a stone bridge across the sea to challenge a rival in Scotland. But when he saw how massive his opponent was, he fled home and disguised himself as a baby. When the Scottish giant saw the child, he imagined how enormous the father must be, and retreated in a panic, smashing the causeway behind him and leaving only the columns you see today. What you'll actually see are over 40,000 interlocking hexagonal columns created by volcanic forces millions of years ago. Walking trails offer stunning coastal views and the chance to explore these unique rock formations up close. It's just an easy half-mile walk to the stones, or you can take the shuttle. Just down the road, we stopped at the Old Bushmills Distillery, licensed in 1608 and one of the oldest working distilleries in the world. And nearby, the Dark Hedges form a tunnel of twisted beech trees, made famous as the King's Road in Game of Thrones. Here's some bonus activities. If you happen to be in Ireland in March, don't miss the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Dublin comes alive with a vibrant parade of music, costumes, and Irish pride. It's a one-day celebration that's absolutely worth experiencing if your timing is right. The Ohio State University Band was one of many from the U.S., joining groups from Ireland, Scotland, and beyond, bringing together over 3,000 participants and about a dozen major floats. Newgrange tours were sold out, so we only visited the museum, otherwise top 25. Newgrange is a 5,000-year-old passage tomb, believed to have been used for burial and ancient rituals. Located just an hour from Dublin, its most amazing feature is its winter solstice alignment, when sunlight reaches deep into the inner chamber. Today you'll see a restored mound, intricate carvings, and one of Europe's most important prehistoric sites. Be sure to book ahead. Tickets sell out fast, and without them, you'll only see the visitor center like we did. Or better yet, take a tour. Getting around Ireland is part of the experience. We recommend using the train for easy travel between cities, then renting a car to explore the countryside. This is the Obama Plaza, named after Barack Obama, whose Irish roots trace back to nearby Moneygall. It's a fun and unexpected stop celebrating a small village's big connection to a U.S. president. Thanks for joining us on this old fart adventure through Ireland and Northern Ireland. As always, you'll find more details on lodging, transportation, tours, and helpful tips in the YouTube description. Thanks for watching the Old Fart Travel channel. Please like, follow, subscribe, and share. See you next time.